It is now time for the world-famous Butch and Bob Show right here on WIFO 105.5 FM in Jessup, brought to you by O'Quinn & Associates, Murphy Builder Supply, Van's Barbecue, and First Southern Bank.
Are you looking for an insurance company that you can call and talk to a live person? Are you looking for an insurance company where you can walk in and talk to an agent? Are you looking for an insurance company that offers multiple companies so they can try and get you the best rate? If you said yes to any of these, then you need to call or come by O'Quinn & Associates Insurance Financial Services. We offer multiple companies so we can find the best fit for you. Give us a call at 385-1000 or stop by our office at 212 South Fair Street right here in Jessup.
Since 1946, Murphy's Builder Supply has been serving the folks of Jessup, Wayne, and surrounding counties with quality products and knowledgeable service. Matter of fact, they feel they sell service first to make sure you get exactly what you need for your home improvement projects. And with each employee at Murphy's being there for 10 years or more, you know you're talking with someone with the experience to help you with building supplies, tools, paint, and all the things you need from a full-service hardware store. The best choice in home improvement is Murphy's Builder Supply, 156 Northeast Broad Street, Jessup.
When it comes to barbecue, Van's Barbecue in Jessup is the place to be. A small family-owned business located at 1876 on the Savannah Highway. Van's Barbecue has lunch and dinner specials. Stop by or call to make an order. The number to call, 427-3358. Van's Barbecue's new manager is Sarah Van. Van's Barbecue offers potato salad, coleslaw, baked beans, and don't forget their delicious mac and cheese. Also, check out their shrimp plates, the best in town. Yes, when it comes to barbecue, head to Van's Barbecue, locally owned and operated. Stop by and tell them the big dog sent you. Once again, the number to order, 427-3358.
Hi, I'm Raymond Brown.
And I'm Mandy Yeomans. At First Southern Bank, our customers are like family. As a locally owned community bank, we're dedicated to helping our clients succeed.
We have loans for every need, whether it's personal or business. We have lines of credit, auto loans, equipment loans, and of course, we offer mortgages. Stop by our bank or call us at 912-588-1010 and see how First Southern Bank can help you.
Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
The following is an exclusive presentation of Jessup Broadcasting, the sports leader in Southeast Georgia.
The world-famous Butch and Bob Show.
World-famous Butch and Bob Show right here on WIFO 105.5 FM, Big Dog Country Radio. And Bob, it's a good day to be a Wayne County High School Yellow Jacket fan.
Yep, a lot of good news. Congrats to the volleyball team. Congrats to the softball team. Again, both advanced. Again, the girls softball team, one of 8 teams, only 8 teams going to Columbus in each classification, and the girls volleyball team's in the Sweet 16. First time ever for the girls volleyball team to advance in the first round of state, going to Shaw High School on Saturday.
Shaw High School. Anybody here know where Shaw High School is? Atlanta area or something?
I'm going to guess Atlanta. They have all those schools
you
up there.
You got a 50-50 chance of being right there, Bob, when you say that. And so do all the classifications play in Columbus for the softball tournament?
Right. There'll be 8 teams from each classification.
Wow. I hope they got a lot of softball fields up there?
That's where the Olympics were played.
Okay.
They have those Olympic fields.
Since 96, they've had all those there, huh?
They've kept them in the city of Columbus. That's where all the softball.
So kept them up and looking good and nice and everything?
I don't know about that. Haven't been there. It's been a while since we've been there.
Probably don't compare to the Bow here. Not the Bow, but Barbara Struckoff.
They got some nice fields. I mean,
I'm sure they do. I'm sure they're nice.
A couple of years ago, it's a nice facility, but there's they got to have a lot of motels for, like I said, each classification sends 8 teams.
Yeah, and when does Wayne County play? Wednesday, you said?
The tournament starts Wednesday. I hadn't got a time.
Okay,
yet.
Yeah, next week.
I just know they didn't do us any favors. They lined us up against the number 1 team in the state.
I know. I heard that when on the sports line that does. Was that bracket already set?
I had no idea.
Yeah,
and I'm sure they want to stick it to Wayne County.
They're always sticking it to Wayne.
GHSA doesn't like us. So.
Well, it's because of you, Bob. All those ugly letters through the years.
I can't help it. It is what it is.
The bracket was probably already set, Bob.
It is what it is.
It is what it is, what it is. All right, we've got guests in the studio with us this morning. Bob, who do we have here on the world-famous Butch and Bob Show?
I'm not sure who's y'all with the chamber.
They're with the chamber. Yeah, they're with the chamber, Bob.
I didn't line this up. So
yeah. This is with the chamber. There's a chamber there every other week. So who do we have?
Monica Ravenel.
Monica?
I'm the admin assistant for the chamber, and then we have
Kelly Lamb.
Kelly Lamb.
Yep.
So Monica and Kelly, good morning, ladies. How y'all doing?
We doing great. How
Good,
about you?
good. So Monica, what's going on?
So on Monday, October the 24th at 5:30 at Coastal Pines, we're having our annual meeting. And this meeting is designed for all the members to come out, and we're going to discuss our chamber plans, updates. They can ask questions, and we will provide the answers for them and how they can get involved, and we're going to have some refreshments. So that annual meeting is Monday, October the 24th at 5:30, and it's going to be at Coastal Pines. Then we also have our State of Wellness and Mental Health presented by Anchored, and that's going to be Tuesday, November the 1st at 11 a.m., and that's going to be at Coastal Pines too. And $25 for our chamber members, and then $35 for our guests. And you will hear from our very own Shauna Manley. She's a licensed clinical social worker, and then her team is going to speak as well. So it's going to be like overall health, mental needs in Wayne County, and we will celebrate advancements in services in our community and learn about resources that are available in our area.
Okay, and I know that the last year the governor, or earlier this year, the governor Kemp put that as a very top priority here in the state of Georgia, and it's good that the local chamber is advancing that here in Wayne County.
Yes, sir. And so we're going to have Miss Kelly. She's going to discuss something that's very exciting, and we are just ready to get this planning going on.
Okay.
We've got our Christmas parade coming up, and it actually is only 6 Saturdays away. That sounds crazy to think that we're trying to cover Halloween and all the football and fall festivities, but Christmas parade will be here before we know it. It'll be Saturday, December 3rd at 7 p.m. in downtown Jessup, as always. And our theme this year is an old-fashioned Christmas.
Okay.
So we want our businesses and organizations and all to come out and go ahead and start getting ideas together for your floats and entries. And you can get your entry forms on the chamber website, or stop by the chamber and see the girls up there also.
Okay, and the first Saturday in December is when the parade will begin, and it'll start at what time?
Starts at 7.
Starts at 7 and right through downtown Jessup.
Yes, sir. We have some of our sponsorships already filled. The presenting sponsor is Banks Real Estate and Two Maids and a Mop of Jessup. And then we've got our main stage, the Cherry Street stage. Sponsor is Marshland Credit Union. And then the First Street stage sponsor is Deals and Steels Bin Store, Diversified Auction Company, Pilot Kings, and Robinson Liquidators. Okay. But there's more sponsorship opportunities available, and it's a good way to get exposure for your business on social media and the radio and the press sentinel and all.
Okay, so big parade, Wayne County Chamber of Commerce parade coming up, Christmas parade on the first Saturday in December. Sponsorship still available, and of course looking for all kinds of entries. If you want thousands and thousands and thousands of eyeballs to see what you've got going on, whether it's a business or a church or a charity or just any organization or whatever, put an entry into the parade because
please.
A lot of folks see it.
Yes.
And WTOC, will they be here again this year?
Yes.
All right, they'll come in and then they'll record it and play back at a later date also.
Correct.
And we'll be down there broadcasting live. So we'll have a good old time down there at the Christmas parade. Always a fun time in Jessup.
It is.
All right. So all that's going on at the Wayne County Chamber of Commerce. Now, Monica, your husband's got a pretty good important position with the chamber, doesn't he?
Yes, sir.
He's the chairman this year, isn't he? He is the elected chairman for this year, right?
Yes.
Okay. And what does he do for a living?
He works at RYAM.
Ryan?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I know Bob was talking to you about getting him on the Butch and Bob show to talk about his plans for the chamber and what his plans are for this year. I know that we had those, when he took over as part of that news story, but it would be good to have him in here.
Yes.
So I know you're working on that, right?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, boy. And a lot of good things going on in the chamber. And, just hats off to all the volunteers. I mean, we have a paid staff of 2, and everybody else is volunteers their time, a lot of hours each year to help out the chamber which helps out the businesses, which help out the residents of Wayne County. Okay. What else is going on with the chamber? Anything else? Any ribbon cuttings coming on that y'all know of? Or
Yes, we actually have one tomorrow, and it's going to be at 11 at Seasons Boutique.
Now, where and what is Seasons Boutique?
It's a ladies' boutique store, clothing store, and it is on Walnut Street. I'm not positive of the exact address.
Okay. Seasons Boutique. It's good to see, new businesses open up, and you got small businesses like that. The people are, putting their time, their effort, their money, and everything into opening up a small business, and we need to help support them.
Yes, sir. It's actually at 174 West Walnut Street.
Okay.
Yes. And I would like to put a plug in. We are looking for more ambassadors. We do have all new faces except one, and we're just so excited and look forward to just see what they come up with. And so if you have someone in your business that you think would fit that ambassador profile, please send them our way.
Okay. And ambassadors are folks who represent the chamber to a certain segment of businesses.
Yes.
They have businesses that they are kind of the liaison with between them and the chamber to help out and see how the chamber can help with their services for that business.
Yes.
Very important role the ambassador is.
Yes.
The ambassadors. You got one returning this year, you said?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
And then we have 6 more new ones.
6 more new ones.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have a call this morning?
Might be Buddy.
That might be Buddy. All right. We're going to take a quick break right here, and we'll be back in just a moment.
When further treatment is no longer an option, hospice can provide services to manage symptoms and difficulties caused by illness. Emotional, psychosocial, and spiritual care, as well as support to the families and caregivers, are all part of hospice care. Hospice of South Georgia has been a part of the health community in Wayne and surrounding counties since 1998. The professional yet compassionate attention provided by our staff is unsurpassed. Widely supported by donations from the local population, Hospice of South Georgia is the local nonprofit hospice in Wayne County. Our administrative office is located at 1625 Sunset Boulevard, and Hospice of South Georgia accepts anyone who meets hospice criteria, regardless of their ability to pay. Please call 912-588-0080 to speak with someone about hospice care. That was 912-588-0080. We are your hometown hospice, and we are here to serve you. Hospice of South Georgia, working to add life to your days.
South Georgia weather.
Here's your WIFO forecast. Chilly start, but lots of sunshine for today. Light west breeze, highs upper 60s. Clear upper 30s for tonight. Sunshine low 70s for tomorrow. Clear around 40 tomorrow night. Then Saturday sunshine mid 70s. Sunday sunshine upper 70s. Monday mostly sunny. Highs in the low 80s. Georgia Chief Meteorologist John Weatherby in the Georgia 811 Weather Center. Contact 811 before you dig.
Yeah, we continue with the Butch and Bob Show. On the phone with us is First District Congressman Buddy Carter. Buddy, always good to talk to you. Got a chance to see the debate last night. Appreciate you wearing that nice yellow tie for Wayne County Yellow Jackets. But,
there you go.
That was entertaining, Lou. I tell you, your opponents. How do you keep your composure when they tell lie after lie after lie? Just curious.
You just ignore it and move on. I mean, you never get used to it. I'm not going to say that, but you just have to tune it out, and you just have to plow forward. I mean,
I think the redneck would come out in me. And people just sitting there one lie after another. But I know that you elected officials just have to sit there and just bear it until it's your turn to talk.
I know you got to keep your composure, but that's going to be hard. But like I said, I thought it was it was fun to watch, entertaining. But I'll get your thoughts. What did you think? How did you think the debate went? Did they talk on the topics you wanted to talk? Was there a topic they didn't bring up that you wanted to talk about, or your thoughts on that?
Well, the one last night I thought was pretty much on, spot on as far as the issues go. I was a little upset. We had one Tuesday night in Atlanta, and, all they want to talk about is your personal wealth and all this. And, that's ridiculous. That didn't have anything to do with this. I mean, this election is not about me. It's not about my opponent. It's about the people of the 1st Congressional District. It's about the policies of the Biden administration that are crushing our economy. this war on American energy, that's caused gas to go up, groceries to go up, rent to go up. I mean, Bob, we get calls in our office, and I'm not exaggerating. We get calls in our office on a daily basis from people who say, I can't afford the gas to get to work now. I can't afford groceries. What am I going to do? I'm on a fixed income. This is killing me. I mean, we get people calling the office who are concerned about crime. We get people calling the office who are saying, you know, I had a roundtable meeting of parents about schools and about the school boards. And, you know, we had people from Liberty County, we had people from Bryan, from Effingham, and they're telling story after story. I went to the school board meeting, and they wouldn't let me talk, or they classify me as a disruptor, and they, you know, I mean, we've got to make sure that people are involved, and it's the policies that make the difference, and that's the point I try to make, is that elections have consequences because policies have consequences. And right now we're suffering the consequences of the Biden administration, their war on energy that's caused inflation, that's caused high gas prices, high grocery prices, the southern border that is just a disaster right now, drugs coming across that border, fentanyl coming across that border. And this is important, and I don't mean to rant here, but listen, guys, we're coming up on Halloween. Y'all have heard about this rainbow fentanyl. I'm concerned. I'm really concerned.
Yeah, Herschel made that comment when I saw him over in Long County. He talked about how they disguise it in Halloween candy. The parents need to be aware of what their kids are bringing home after Halloween. I got a suggestion for you. You know, when we had the COVID situation, every day they would tell how many people died from COVID. We talked about the drugs coming across the border of fentanyl. I understand there's a bunch of people dying on this fentanyl drug overdose. Why don't they publicize those figures each week? Because I talked to the local doctor here, and he said in Wayne County about 2 a week are passing, dying of fentanyl overdose. So why don't they report that? Maybe people wake up and realize what's going on at the border.
Bob, I was in a meeting a couple weeks ago, and I misspoke, and I said fentanyl addiction. And God bless her, this woman corrected me, as she should have, and she said, sir, it's not fentanyl addiction, it's fentanyl poisoning. She said, my son took 1 pill, and he's dead. She said, that's not addiction, that's poisoning. And that's what it is. Every day we are losing 200 people to fentanyl poisoning in this country. That's like putting 200 young people on an airplane and it crashing every day.
Now, that's what happens when you have open borders like we do down there in Mexico, and all the criminals, the drugs just come across unchecked.
Exactly. I mean, it's just, and here we have a president who, as vice president, who is a senator, who is president, has never been to the border, never been to the southwest border.
Vice president has neither, right? I mean, she was in Texas and didn't come, right? She did go one. She went to El Paso, which is about 800 miles away from where she should have been. She should have been in McAllen. Of course, they're going to come to the southernmost point of the United States, which is where McAllen is. El Paso is 800 miles from McAllen, and she's supposed to be the border czar. And she's the one who got on TV and said, "We've got a secure border." You got to be kidding me! We've got a secure border. We've had over 2 million people that we know of who've come across that border. Well, the good news is early voting is underway, and it seems like there's a lot of interest in these elections. Georgia had a record turnout on day one. Wayne County's turnout's been pretty good. What about across the district? Have you checked? Is it going well in Savannah and all across the district?
Yes, it's been, as you indicated, record turnouts, and there again, that speaks to the Election Integrity Act that was passed by the Georgia State Legislature that made voting easier and cheating harder. I think people have got confidence in the voting system again. Now, was there fraud in the 2020 votes? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question. I probably will never know the answer to that question. But I do know that the changes that the Georgia State Legislature made it easier to vote and harder to cheat. And I do know that I have a lot more confidence this time than I did last time. So I'm glad they did that.
Well, listen to the voters. The one issue, again, as you mentioned it, the inflation. I mean, people are hurting their pocketbooks. When people go to the grocery store, they see it. When they go to pump gas in their vehicle, they see it. Is there any solution up there in Washington, D.C.? I mean, you're up there. Is there any relief in sight?
Well, as far as groceries go, most of that can be tied back to the price of petroleum. I mean, the diesel fuel that the farmers are having to use, the fertilizer, which, of course, petroleum is used to make fertilizer. That's a big driving force behind the grocery prices, the cost that it takes to get their product to market because of the higher gas prices. All of that factors into being higher. And just the fact that inflation all over has an impact on it. And I will tell you, I'm afraid that is going to get worse before it gets better. We had an agricultural roundtable in Patterson in Pierce County about a month or so ago. And the farmers there were telling us, you think grocery prices are high now. You wait till these crops we got in the ground now. Wait till we harvest them. Then you're going to really see high grocery prices.
I watched the debate between the governors, and Brian Kemp talked about how street crime is just out of control and how he's trying to deal with that. You see that in Savannah as well. Yeah, it's amazing how much crime has taken place across the country.
It is, and again, this can be tied right back to the policies of the Democratic one-party controlled system. Right now, the Democrats control both houses of Congress. They control the House, they control both branches of Congress, the House and the Senate, and they control the White House. One-party rule. And what do we have? We have this defund the police rhetoric. We have soft-on crime. And you know, that's what has led to a lot of the crime that we see right now. I mean, God bless our policemen and our public safety officials. I mean, you know, they are our heroes, and we should treat them as heroes. And we should treat criminals as criminals. Attorney generals, district attorneys, they need to start prosecuting these people. They need to start applying the law to these people. But they're not. They're soft-on crime. And that's what's led to a lot of crime. And you make a great point, Bob. Yeah, it's a problem in Savannah. And listen, Savannah's my home. You know, I grew up right outside Savannah, and I still live here. And I love Savannah, but please be careful when you're in downtown Savannah. I mean, it's tough down there. But it's also in our rural counties. You know, we've got a county out in the rural area of our district that I met with the sheriff a couple of months ago, and he was telling me they've got gang activity in that county, in a rural area in our district, and that can be tied back to the Mexican cartels. Unbelievable.
As you mentioned, that's why that U.S. Senate race is so crucial, because it's control in Washington, D.C. When I saw Herschel a couple weeks ago in Long County, he asked me, he said, why are they spending $300 million attacking me? He said that seat must be very, very important. But I thought he handled himself well in the debate. But that is a key U.S. Senate race between he and Raphael Warnock. I mean, that pretty much controls. I mean, it decides who has control. Is that correct?
That is correct. It very well could boil down to that seat. And, you know, of course, Georgia is a 50-plus-1 state. You got to get 50% plus one vote. That race could go to a runoff. There is a Libertarian candidate in that race who could get 2 or 3%, maybe 4%. And that could be enough to keep Herschel from getting over the 50% line, and then that may throw it into a runoff. Now, I think Brian Kemp's going to be fine, but Herschel's is closer because of all the personal attacks on him that I just think are just ridiculous. But nevertheless, that could go into a runoff, and that could very well determine the balance of power in the Senate right there, that one race.
That's almost $500 million in one race. How much they spend in your race, buddy? You're not spending that kind of money.
No.
I mean, can you imagine all the problems they could solve for that kind of money? I mean,
I know,
that they're spending on political ads. It's just crazy to me.
The thing about it is most of that money that is there is coming from big donors from California and New York and places like that to help get our current senator reelected. It's not Georgians. It's Georgians are there's a lot of Georgians, but most of it's coming from out of state.
That's exactly right. And even in my race, which I would say it's a couple of $3 million race in my case. But my opponent is getting max out contributions from San Diego, California. It baffles me. I wished I knew somebody in San Diego who would max out to me.
Boy, it's just amazing how much out of state money's coming in to help certain candidates try to influence what's going on here in the state of Georgia.
Yeah, but in the case of the Senate race, it's a national race because, as you pointed out earlier, it could determine the balance of power in the Senate, and therefore it becomes a national race. So, that's why you got national dollars in it.
As you mentioned, when you vote for a candidate, whether it's Democrat or Republican, no matter who the candidate is, no matter who the person is, they're representing the views, the values, and the policies of a certain party. And so, that's how some people look at voting for someone, no matter who it is. And other people look at the person themselves. There's so many personal attacks on Walker, on Herschel. But what you got to take a look at, a lot of folks have to take a look at, is what will he be representing in terms of being a Republican and the policies and the laws that we passed through the Republican Party. And that's, you got someone told me one time that, about 40% of the people, and maybe it's changed through the years, and maybe you can help me enlighten me on this, but it says about 40% of the population of the country is always going to vote Democrat, no matter who the person is. 40% of the population is going to vote Republican, no matter who the person is. And we're talking about nationwide now. And then about 20% are the ones who vote for, let's say, for Bush and then for Obama, and then, may have voted for Obama and then voted for Trump. It's the person, not the party, but it's the parties that set the policy, not the particular one person.
And that's the case here. If you look at the Senate race with Raphael Warnock, who has voted with Joe Biden 96% of the time. 96% of the time he's voted with Joe Biden. And we know that the Biden policies are failing us right now. We know that they're crushing our economy. That's not who we need in Washington, D.C. And we do know that Herschel Walker will be a reliable conservative Republican vote. That's the difference right there. Now, look, I've worked across the aisle, and I've worked with Senator Warnock. He and I worked together, and we're able to save the Combat Readiness Training Center here in Savannah. And I'm sure Herschel will do the same thing if he has to. It will be Georgia first. And he will always make sure that he's voting for Georgia first. But when it comes to national policies, he's going to be the reliable conservative Republican vote that we need.
Yeah, that was good news of the debate last night. It was nice that you pointed that out, that, you do work across the aisle. You should try to look, work together, try to do what's best for the district. So that was a good point I thought you made in the debate. Again, if you just joined us, First District Congressman Buddy Carter's on the phone with us. They've got the Chamber's got the cookout today for elected officials. Are you attending that today, or what's your schedule?
Haven't even looked at it. I'm not sure.
Have to talk to
I just heard the Chamber's in here. It's a Low Country Bowl, if you're interested. 6 o'clock today at the train depot. It's for all elected officials. So I didn't know if I'm sure you got invited. I'm sure it's on your calendar, but there's a lot going on. I know they got the event. I just wondered what your schedule is. The governor's coming next Thursday here to Jessup. Will you be in town for that?
We'll be there for that. I also need to mention that I'll be flipping the coin tomorrow night at BC Wayne County football game. So.
Wow. Okay, I'll see you down there. Well, make sure you flip it Wayne County's way, okay?
I figured that was going.
Get that.
He has no control over that.
Get that two-headed coin. We'll call heads, okay? Come on, help us out a little
Heads
bit.
we win, tails you lose.
Buddy, always good talking to you. We'll see you there tomorrow night in Savannah then. If you get a chance, come on up in the booth. We'll put you on the air.
All right. Thank you, Bob.
Okay, take care.
Thank you, buddy.
Okay.
All right. Congressman Buddy Carter, our special guest here on the world-famous Butch and Bob Show, right here on WIFO. Well, a very good Butch and Bob Show this morning, Bob.
Yep. Hopefully he gets that two-headed coin. If he needs one, I'll give him one.
Well, you understand that,
we need all the
BC is also, part of his district too now. So he'll just throw the coin, and then they know they illegally recruit every year. So we need all the events. Those are opinions of Bob Morgan that not necessarily represent the views of the staff, management, advertisers of Big Dog Country.
I don't know how they got that Thomas Wolf from Long County. I don't know how he didn't get over to Wayne County.
All right, Bob. Anything else of importance before we wrap it up here?
I'm trying to think. Just let's set a reminder, just everybody, early voting is going pretty well in Wayne County, so it's good to see that many people turning out. So a lot of interest in these races, that's for sure. So,
yeah, sure is.
Again, the cookout, just want to remind that the chamber is doing. I asked them what the menu was. It's a Low Country Boil today at the Train Depot, 6 o'clock. That's for all local elected officials.
Local elected officials.
Right.
Okay.
And, also, Attorney General Chris Carr in town today at the Strand Bistro. He'll be there around 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. So Attorney General Chris Carr at 6 o'clock at the Bistro on Cherry Street, downtown Jessup.
He's running for re-election. We'll bring his comments tomorrow here on the local news.
All right, Bob. Have a good day. All right, the world-famous Butch and Bob Show right here on WIFO has been brought to you by O'Quinn & Associates, Murphy Builder Supply, Van's Barbecue, and First Southern Bank.